You ever have that one person in your life who thinks your achievements are just a trial run for theirs? Now imagine that person shares your DNA. Yeah, my sister, Chloe. For 25 years, I've been the boring one. The one who stayed in, studied, worked the 9 to 5, and saved my coins. Chloe, she was the main character. The one who traveled on daddy's dime and lived for the gram. But 6 months ago, I got engaged to Marcus. He's a unicorn. Successful, kind, and loves me like I'm the only girl on earth. And that's when the main character decided she wanted my role. She didn't just want a wedding, she wanted my wedding. And wait until you hear how she tried to pull it off. Because the ending? Let's just say karma doesn't just bite it. Leaves a scar. It started small. We're talking microaggressions. I picked a venue, this gorgeous glass conservatory in the city. 2 days later, Chloe calls me crying. Lexi, I just realized my dream aesthetic is glass and greenery. If you use that venue, everyone's gonna think I'm copying you when I eventually get married. I'm like, Chloe, you don't even have a boyfriend. But then, my vendors started acting weird. My florist called to say my assistant had changed the order from white roses to orange carnations. Orange carnations? In what world? I don't have an assistant. I have a sister with my password and a lot of free time. I changed my passwords, but she went offline. She started whispering to my mom. Suddenly, the narrative was that I was being a bridezilla because I would let Chloe be the creative director of my wedding. My own mother told me, just let her help Lexi. She's so lost right now. So, being the good sister, I let her in. That was my first mistake. 3 months before the big day, Chloe shows up to brunch with a rock on her finger. A massive, gaudy, definitely not real-looking diamond. Who's the guy? A dude named Chad she met in Vegas 3 weeks ago. I'm thinking, okay, congrats. Maybe now she'll focus on her own life. Nope, she sits me down and says, I kid you not, Lexi, since we're both getting married and your venue is so big, we should just do a double wedding. It'll save money, and it'll be a sister event. I said no, politely at first. Then I said no, like I was talking to a toddler. She threw a fit, called me selfish, and told the whole family I was jealous of her happiness. But here's the kicker. I found out from my maid of honor that Chloe had already sent out save the dates to her friends for my date. At my venue, with her name on it. She was literally planning to hijack the reception. She figured once the guests were there, what was I gonna do? Kick her out? I didn't scream. I didn't even block her. See, when people play dirty, you don't throw mud at you, just let them slip in their own. I told my vendors a secret code. If anyone called to change anything without that code, they were to say yes, absolutely, and then immediately call me. Chloe called the caterer. She tried to cancel my steak and lobster and replace it with a taco bar to fit her Vegas vibes. I told the caterer to let her think she succeeded. Then, I found her secret dress. She bought a white sequined gown that looked exactly like a wedding dress for her maid of honor outfit. She was planning to walk down the aisle after me and steal the spotlight. I let it happen. I let her spend every cent of her Vegas Chad-esque credit card on this double wedding fantasy. I even let her invite all her influencer friends to the big reveal. The morning of the wedding, Chloe shows up in her white dress glowing. She looks at me and says, "Don't be mad, Lexi. I just wanted us to look like twins." I just smiled and said, "You look exactly how you deserve to look, sis." The ceremony goes off without a hitch. Marcus and I are married. We walk back up the aisle. Now it's time for the reception. Chloe is buzzing. She's telling her friends, wait for the announcement. It's going to be a double celebration. The DJ grabs the mic. Chloe stands up, adjusting her tiara. Yes, she wore a tiara. The DJ says, and now, a special announcement. We have a guest who tried really hard to make this day about her. So we've prepared a special tribute. The big screens at the reception start playing. It's not a slideshow of us growing up. It's a montage of the security footage from the bridal shop where she tried to swap my dress. It's the recorded phone calls of her trying to cancel my catering. And it ends with a screenshot of Chad's Tinder profile, which he had been active on that morning. The room went silent. You could hear the sequins on her dress rattling because she was shaking so hard. Chad, who was actually just some guy she'd promised clout to, bolted out the door. My mom looked at her like she didn't recognize her. All those influencer friends, they weren't taking photos of the double wedding. They were live streaming her breakdown. I walked over to her, leaned in, and whispered, I told the caterers to keep the steak. The taco bar was never coming, Chloe. Just like your main character moment. I had security escort her out, in her white dress, in the rain. Marcus and I danced all night. We had the lobster, we had the white roses. And most importantly, we had peace. So, the moral of the story? Don't try to set someone else's house on fire to make yours look brighter. You'll just end up standing in the rain, watching your own bridge burn. Would you guys have been that petty? Or am I the drama? Let me know in the comments. I might show you the crying in the rain photos if this gets enough likes.